Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Sorry for starting 4 minutes late. And I forgot to change my shirt, so sorry about that too. Welcome to the Max Community webinar. This is fun. I tested every kink that I could imagine, and when I started to broadcast the episode 4 minutes ago, or this thing 4 minutes ago, there was like this insane mic feedback. And since there's not a mic besides my computer, I have no idea where it was coming from. And in fact, I noticed that if I climbed under the desk, that the feedback went away. So I almost did this from underneath the front desk at our West Columbia office. So welcome, we got this. Let me just fix my hair here. Okay, how we doing? Okay, good. So let's get started with our Max Immunity webinar. I'm Dr. Sarah Losby. I am one of, how many doctors do we have on our team? A lot of doctors that we have on our Max Living Columbia team. Together, our approach is to focus on how do we get people healthy and well through living not only a chiropractic lifestyle, but people that really understand a chiropractic lifestyle realize that when you live a lifestyle that's cause-oriented, that's proactive versus reactive, it changes the way that you eat and the way that you move your body and the way that you approach disease processes and the way that you parent. It changes a lot of things. So when you choose to live a chiropractic lifestyle, we also love to talk about things like nutrition, which we're going to talk about tonight, supplementation, moving our bodies and thinking right. So we're going to get into all of that with the highlight being on our immune system this evening. It's a timely talk. We were going to do it anyway. Typically, we like to do our events, if I can get the PowerPoint to play along with me here. Typically, we like to have our events in the health centers. They look like this. We'll have anywhere from, at the Harbison location, we'll have 100 plus people gather to come together and learn things. That was from our keto workshop. The Lexington office will have 50, 60 people. So we like to do this thing live. It's way more interactive. I am not super polished. I typically say things and am thankful that nobody recorded it. So this is a big leap for me to be willing to get on a computer screen and have you all viewing it. But here we go. I much prefer live because then when I make bad jokes, I can just turn red and we can move on. Okay, so we are focusing on the immune system. There's, a lot of buzz that's happening in the world right now around the immune system, around viruses, around bacteria. And even if you just look at still the number of people that are being affected by immune system diseases, autoimmune diseases, cancers, thyroid diseases, it's a big hot topic. So I feel like the more light we can shed on how to have a healthy immune system, the better off we're going to be. And I want to start this by setting the ground rule that I believe that we are all created to be healthy for a lifetime. That's the belief system that I live my life by. I believe that very few things are we completely a victim of our genetics. And that's not to say that that's zero, because there are some things that are truly genetic, but even the research of genetics says that we can control a lot of our gene expression. So I believe that we are meant to live a life not in fear, but a life that says, hey, it is my God-given right to be healthy and to express health to its fullest potential. And because of that, the more we study, the more we learn, and science is always behind natural processes, the more we realize, shoot, there are actually so many built-in mechanisms for us to be able to not just survive this world, but thrive in this world so long as we honor those mechanisms. So in light of what we're talking about and what's happening in our world today, the immune system, it was given to us, built into us, so we can survive the pathogens that we encounter. We're not meant to live in bubbles. We're not meant to walk around with a bath of hand sanitizer over us. We have natural defenses to the things that we will encounter in this world that are foreign to our bodies. And the more you study it, the more you realize how intricate it is. But really, to take it down to like the simplest level, our skin is a barrier. Things that will get in through like our eyes, our ears, our nose, that all have to be filtered through our tonsils and our throat before they get too far into our body, let alone all of those surfaces have secretions, which also help block and create first-line immune defense against pathogens, viruses, and bacteria. And I think the whole notion of saying that we can create an environment where there's no viruses and no bacteria is really kind of ludicrous, because when you look at what our own bodies are made up of, we're made up of roughly 6 trillion cells that are ours. On top of that, we have about 60 trillion bacteria living in our bodies. And then on top of that, we have upwards of 300 trillion viruses present in our bodies. So we have already more viruses and bacteria within us that are creating a synergistic environment that are allowing us to navigate this world, that are there. So this concept that a virus can attack us and make us unwell, and that's the only part of the equation that matters, is really flawed, in my opinion. I think there's a much bigger piece to the puzzle. And I think starting from the baseline that, one, we agree that we're designed to be healthy. And then two, we agree that we have a built-in immune system that is designed to help us survive this world. I think if we can start there and then recognize, shoot, I'm already filled with viruses and bacteria, more of them in me than even my own cells. Now I can have some peace and some understanding about, okay, how do I create a good, healthy environment within my body to be able to handle the world better? The other thing that I want to make sure that we hit appropriately right off the bat is this concept of sickness. This is like kind of this is tough, and I know that this will ruffle some feathers, but when we look at it, like within my family, when my children are throwing up, or have a fever, or have snotty runny noses, we don't say you're sick. We say you're expressing health. So we have a belief system that symptoms, coughing, sneezing, fevers, you can look at those and say that they're a bad thing, or you can look at those and say, thank God I'm coughing, sneezing, puking, or have a fever, because that's my body's way of dealing with and healing whatever pathogen, virus, or bacteria I've encountered that my body recognizes I've got to get out. So we look at these things as not signs of sickness, but signs of health. Now, are they warning signs? Yes. And do they mean, shoot, there's times we need to tighten up on some of our protocols? But we come from a philosophy and a paradigm, and it's so interesting to raise your children this way and to realize how hard it is that even cartoons and in school, they're being told germs make you sick. They're being told when you throw up, you're sick. Oh, you have a fever, you must be sick. And I get that that's an expression of a symptom, but really in my world and in the chiropractic lifestyle that I like to live, I like to say that's a sign that my body's working and that it's healing itself. So I think taking a step back and saying, are these symptoms a good or a bad thing? Sure. Do they feel good? No. Last winter, my whole family got taken down hard by, it was like 8 hours for our youngest. Me, it was about a day and a half stomach bug, and it sucked. We puked, we had diarrhea, we had body aches, we couldn't get out of bed, took down the whole family. And as not fun as that was what our body needed to heal us. And I'm thankful for it, because otherwise that virus or bacteria or whatever it was would be running rampant still within my body and could have killed us. So I'm thankful for strong immune responses, because they are how my body heals. So I think if we can get that through up here, we can live a life that's so much less engulfed in fear. So here's the equation that I think we're led to believe. I gotta stand up. Sorry, with you guys. Okay. I think here's the equation that we are led to believe. It's that a germ equals a response. So, and I'm going to give you the proper equation. You can see it there. I have it slightly highlighted, but we're kind of often told, and it's this misconception of what the germ theory is. And it's that if you encounter a certain germ, you'll be predestined to a certain disease. And there's parts of that theory that are accurate. Certain viruses and bacteria create certain sets of symptoms, but that's not the whole equation. there's a huge missing piece of the equation, and that's going to be the only thing, because my job is not to tell you what to believe about the virus that's going around right now. My job is to tell you that there's a missing piece of the puzzle called the host. And if we can focus on improving the host, I believe we'll have our best shot at being healthy and well and thriving and not having to live in fear in the midst of the chaos and pandemonium that is happening. It's not to say that certain germs don't create certain symptoms, but it is to say that there's a piece of the puzzle that we're missing. And I'll prove it to you. And this was fun because as I was preparing for this, I started thinking through, like, why do some people, in a classroom, so they'll say, oh, I'm got a kindergartner now, so we'll get the note, oh, there's a case of hand, foot, and mouth in the classroom. Okay, well, there's 18 kids in that classroom and 1 or 2 got hand, foot, and mouth. So how can the kids can be in the same environment, have the same food, not my kids, we send our own food, eat similar foods, breathe the same air, be exposed to the same things, be told the same things, and some kids get sick and some kids don't. So I was looking for pictures of like a crowded bus or a crowded airplane, and as I was Googling it, this Kanye West and James Corden picture came up on Google Images. I put in like crowded airplane. Would love to be technologically savvy enough to be able to play this video for you. But in light of just needing something fun to look at or do, I'd encourage you, let me flip to here. I'd encourage you to go Google James Corden and Kanye West airplane, whatever they call it, airplane karaoke or carpool karaoke. It's really good. But when we look at environments like this, what the typical germ theory would tell us is like, if one person on there has a virus or a bacteria, why doesn't everyone get it? If it's truly about a virus or bacteria being so bad and so harmful and so dangerous, why doesn't everyone get it? And that's where we have to spend our time together tonight focusing on, is what's that missing piece of the equation? So germ plus host equals the outcome or the response. I feel like our medical paradigm spends a little bit too much time talking about and reacting to the germ by way of antibiotics and vaccines and sanitation and all of these things. We spend a lot of time looking there. And I really believe that if we would spend more time talking about the second piece of the equation, the host, we could be encouraged and we would feel a lot more powerful. And I believe we'd have a lot better outcomes if we focused here. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, is the host. And I think we need to start by asking better questions. Like, how do we improve the host? I just realized I was banging on the computer, and that was feedback from last time. Don't bang on the computer. How do we improve the host? So your immune system, you've got to think of it almost like a muscle. It has to be exercised, and especially as a child, I look at every time my kids get a runny nose or a fever or a little tummy bug, I look at that as it's priming their immune system. It's teaching their immune system how to act appropriately. The last thing I want is for my kids to grow up so sanitized and in such a bubble that the second they encounter a virus or bacteria or any of these things out in the world, they just get completely knocked down by it and have an inappropriate cytokine storm, inappropriate immune response to it, and they become very ill. I think it's very appropriate to play in the dirt and maybe not always wash your hands if you didn't poop on them. I think it's okay to expose our bodies to these things and realize that, especially as a young child and later on in life, that we are exercising this muscle of our immune system and we're teaching it. I think the really big question that we have to ask is, what are we sacrificing in the sake of protecting? So, you can look at how we don't want kids to really get any infectious things. Like, I grew up with chickenpox. Kids don't get to have chickenpox. Agree with that or disagree with it? Maybe what does that look like 20 years from now? I just think that going back to an understanding of, we have an immune system for a reason. If we can have a strong, healthy host that has good, clean food and water and air, man, maybe we can encounter and deal with a lot more than we thought. So host is where we have to talk. And this is where you look at, people can be exposed to the same virus or bacteria and have very, very different outcomes. And I believe, especially in the environment that we're in right now, where I think we're all going to get exposed to it at some point. There is no better time in your life to take care of your health than right now. There really is no more of a significant time in our lifetime that I can think about that the whole world has agreed to shut down for the sake of keeping people healthy and well. Literally, I consult with chiropractors around the country and other business professionals around the country, lots of female entrepreneurs that I talk to locally and afar, and they're losing their businesses. Economies are shutting down. Lives are being affected and destroyed on the fear of someone being unwell, of the fear of someone being unhealthy. So there's never been a more significant time in my lifetime, and I believe any recent history, where the whole world has agreed that keeping people healthy and well is important. It is the most important thing right now. So recognizing from our perspective that it's germ plus host equals the outcome, let's figure out how to have and be a strong host right now and get ourselves healthy and well. So if we encounter any virus, any bacteria, any germ, we know that we have a built-in immune system that is strong and firing appropriately, so we have our best outcome. Doesn't mean we're not going to have, some symptoms along the way. That's par for the course. That's just going to happen, but it does mean we can have our best outcome from it if we can focus on the host. Our team of doctors in Colombia have made a commitment to figuring out how can we help and reach people, whether it's through chiropractic needs or nutrition needs, supplementation needs, fitness needs. How can we serve during this time? So our doctors, and that's a picture of all of them right there, that I made them all today. I said, hey, selfie a picture and send it to me so I can put you on the PowerPoint. They all have agreed to do free virtual health consultations for anyone listening or anyone that you think needs it. If you are currently on a medication, currently overweight, currently diagnosed with a chronic disease process, or currently just freaking out and worried about how do I get myself healthier, so if and when I do encounter a pathogen or a germ, I have my best shot at being okay with it. I'm not saying to go around and, lick shopping cart handles, although you could probably do that now with the level of sanitation that's happening at most grocery stores. But what I'm saying is the germ might be real, but what we can do as a host is important. So these guys are offering to do free virtual health consultations. I believe that they're going to post a link to a health survey where you just simply put in your name, your email address, your phone number, which of the offices is, which of the doctors you would like to meet with. The females are all at the Harbison location. The guys in the middle are at the Lexington location. And the guys on the right, if my screen is not reversed, on the brick wall, they're at the West Columbia location. All of them will do, and it's virtual. So it will be a 15-minute phone call where they'll just walk you through what are your health concerns right now? What are some tips and tricks to begin moving you in the right direction? I'd super encourage you, if you're not good with Google Docs and you don't want to click on that link that was just posted above, then all you would need to do is just send us a direct message or call one of our offices, and we will hook you up with that. There's no gimmicks or strings attached. We just want to figure out, hey, what are ways that we can help you improve your host during this season? So here's our roadmap, which I didn't plan this, but ironically, I am wearing the t-shirt, which was funny because I went to the grocery store today to get kiwis, because when I was leaving for work this morning, I told the kids that I would stop by the grocery store on my way home, and they said get kiwis, and I promised them I would bring them each a kiwi, and I forgot kiwis. So I had to go to the grocery store twice today, be sanitized twice today to make sure I got kiwis. But in the grocery store the second time, this young little bagger, cashier, not the cashier, the bagger, the guy doing the bags, like a teenage kid. He was like, oh, that's a cool shirt. Is that for a video game? So no, it's not for a video game. It's for the 5 essentials of max living. It's for core chiropractic, mindset, nutrition, toxicity, oxygen, and exercise. It's the symbols for each of them. And that's what we're going to be going through, because that really is our roadmap to health and wellness. And I want to start with the idea and this concept of mindset. It's the easiest one to ignore. It's the easiest one to think doesn't matter. And it's also the easiest one to get yourself into big trouble with the doctrine that you're creating for your children as they grow up. So mindset is super, super important, especially in a time like this. My kids, we don't watch TV. They're not currently in school right now. And my oldest is a kindergartner. he has not been raised to fear germs. He's been raised to know that he is powerful, and as long as he stays strong and healthy and does all of the right things that we teach and believe in, he doesn't need to live in fear. And he even is saying, oh, I hope that I can have a birthday party in August if the germ has gone away by then. So we can't have school because of germs. We can't go do this because of germs. He has never heard those words out of my mouth. So really protecting mindset here is important. And then beyond that, really looking at, for you, what are the words and thoughts that you're having? I can tell you that my husband in the last 2 weeks has really been calling me out. I have been saying out loud that I'm anxious. Like, I just have so much anxiety right now. I got to figure this out, got to figure that out, got to do this, got to do that, blah, 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 all this stuff. And he's like, watch your words, because your words create your reality. And it's an important way that if you're wondering, hey, where is my mindset at right now? Do an inventory of the words that you're using. Are they filled with hope and life and abundance and peace and joy? Or are they filled with fear, anxiety, stress, tension, lack, uncertainty? Do an inventory of the words. Or if you're brave enough to do this, ask your spouse to do an inventory of your words and see kind of where it comes back at the end of the day. Here's a couple tips for taking this time to create some peace in your life. And I'm going to start with number 3 first, I guess. Sleep. Sleep is super important for you right now to bring down your stress levels, to allow melatonin to be produced, which is very important for the health of your immune system. There's actually some crazy research right now on melatonin and cancers. Melatonin is big. So for point number 3 there, for sleep, you need 7 to 8 hours in cave-like darkness every night. Now, I don't get that because I have 3 children. And they're 6, 4, and 2, and they like to roam the halls in the middle of the night and wake each other up. And so that there's only so many variables. Dr. Tim has a newborn, Dr. Parks has 3 kids. Like, there's realities to this, but best you can do to sleep in a pitch black environment. Phone away from you. Get rid of it. No lights on in your room. Draw the shades if there's ambient light that comes from the outside, especially between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's peak melatonin production. It's really important for you to make sure that you're getting it. So at a minimum, get yourself super dark, get rid of the night lights, keep your cell phone far away from your bed. Sleep is really critical. I'll skip back to number 1. I don't know why I went in a different order. Daily gratitude practice. Every day you have to be actively pursuing gratitude. You can Rachel Hollis, you can Google any of these people right now. They all have gratitude journals that you can download. You can make a 10-page gratitude list every day, but you need some level of practice for gratitude every day right now. And listen, you lost your commute to work. If you worked 5 minutes away, you drive there and you drive back every day, you have 10 minutes back in your life. You can swap those 10 minutes out for 10 minutes of gratitude, written down or verbalized every day. Give yourself a minimum of 5 minutes of it, but begin a daily practice. And better yet, engage your children, engage your social media networks, engage your parents if you don't live with them. Like, this is a really simple thing to do. Number 2 here is facts over fear. And I think that's a slogan that's out there right now. I don't know who made it up, but I like it. If you are in fear right now because of what media is telling you, because of what you're seeing every time you turn on the TV or open Facebook, or because of what your mom is telling you every time you call her, or what your grandkids are telling you every time you talk to them, if you are living in fear right now, my encouragement to you, I would implore you to start looking at facts. And I'll give you a very simple example. And this is not to diminish that people are dying and death does happen and it's brutal. So that's not to diminish that in any way. But I'll just give an example that let's just say that the death rate right now from a particular virus is, let's just say 1%. What I've read is it's less than 1%, but let's just say it's 1% for simple math for Sarah. Let's say it's 1%. You can read that and say, oh my gosh, 1% of people are dying. Or you can flip it and look at the facts and say, well, that means 99% of people are living. Facts over fear. When a statistic is thrown at you, you can just as easily flip that statistic, look at the opposite side of the number, and generally find some good hope, some good encouragement with it. So facts over fear. So let's go through nutrition. Nutrition is big. Here's the deal. You know what you need to change in terms of your nutrition. You don't need me to tell you that. You know what it is. Here's what you need me to tell you. You have been dragging your feet and not doing it for too long. And now we are in a global crisis where we have all agreed that health is our number one priority. If there was ever a time to prioritize your nutrition for the sake of being healthy and well and remove interference so your immune system can work more appropriately, not just so you can lose weight, not just so you can fit into your summer clothes that no one will see better, but for the sake of you being a more equipped host to be able to deal with viruses and bacteria, this is the time to clean it up. This is the time to make the changes that you know you should have made a while ago and you still haven't found the motivation to do. Here is your time. Sugar has to go. You have to completely eliminate sugar. It has got to be gone. Sugar suppresses your immune system. Sugar feeds viruses and bacteria that use a fermentation process or live in anaerobic environments. Sugar feeds cancer cells. Sugar is detrimental to your health, and it is making you a weak host right now. You know you need to not eat sugar. Sugar is easy to search for when cortisol levels go up and you go to reach for something, but here's the deal. Sugar has to go. I'm going to give you another reason of the most of your patients that are watching, you've already heard us preach the 55 reasons why sugar needs to be eliminated from your diet. I'm going to give you another one in case you aren't familiar with this one today. The more sugar you eat, the more you support candida growth within your body. The more candida growth you have, the more gliotoxins are produced. As gliotoxins, and then what gliotoxins do is that they decrease the effectiveness of macrophages and T cells. Macrophages and T cells are two very important cells that your immune system needs to fight viruses and bacteria. The more gliotoxins you have, the more ineffective your immune cells are. Specifically macrophages and T cells, which are two different parts of your immune system. The more sugar you have, the more candida growth you have, the more gliotoxins you produce. The more gliotoxins you produce, the less effective your macrophages and T cells are, the weaker your immune system is. You have now become a poor host. Now, we can't be surprised when we have poor outcomes. When I feel, and I've done this for years, but when I feel a sniffle, a sneeze, or just, that like, I don't feel good, I feel like I'm going to get sick in the next day or two, that feeling, the first thing I do is, after I get adjusted, is I tighten up my nutrition. Completely eliminate any sources of sugars. Anything refined goes. I want to conserve all of my spare energy, not for breaking down poisonous foods. I don't want any gliotoxins being produced that will create and inhibit my immune cells. I try to eat as many raw foods as I can because that allows white blood cells to be shifted over for immune production, not food breakdown. Big deal. On a daily basis, when we're thinking we're in an environment where we will be encountering more viruses and more bacteria, which, as I started this off by saying, we already have 60 trillion bacteria in our bodies. We already have 300 plus trillion viruses in our bodies. But if we're in an environment where we feel like there's one particular one that could jump out of the woods and attack us right now, we need to be tight on our nutrition, and sugar and anything that turns into sugar has got to go. That Sara Lee whole grain bread right now, got to go. Pasta sauces, everything that you read, you need to, this is water, but flip over and read the nutrition label. Anything that has oats in it, anything that has sugar written on the label, cane sugar written on the label, anything that ends in OSE, that's sugar. You can look up the glycemic index of any food to see how it will affect your insulin levels, your hormone levels, how your body's responding to that, and decide if it's a yay or a nay right now. If there's ever been a time for you to fully commit to the Max Living nutrition plans, this is it. It's advanced plan time. Many of you need advanced plan, and you know you need advanced plan, and you haven't found a good enough reason to commit to it, now's your time for the advanced plan. As Dr. Rachel said, get sugar out of here forever. Yes, ma'am. The gut immune connection. This is also why it's so important right now for us to be paying attention to the foods that we eat. 70% of your immune system is housed in your gut. If you are filling your gut with crap right now, processed foods, synthetic foods, chemicals, dyes, preservatives, sugars, trans fats, if you are putting all of those things into your gut right now, your gut cannot work appropriately, and 70% of your immune system is housed there. So now is the time to get clean. Clean up your nutrition so you can feed the good, healthy bacteria. I gave you some examples. Garlic is great right now because it produces allicin, which is a good antimicrobial. Oregano is really good right now because that's a good antiviral, antibacterial. Mushrooms are great to be eating right now because they are good prebiotics. They feed the microbiome of your gut. So they're simple things to be incorporating into your diet. I'm a big fan of raw fruits and vegetables to support the immune system. Citrus fruits high in vitamin C. That's a natural form of vitamin C that you can get right now. Vitamin C neutralizes free radicals to help support the immune system. So simple things that you can be doing. There's studies to show that garlic, I quoted one of the studies here in my notes. One study found that supplementation with garlic reduces the risk of illness by 63%, as well as the duration of illness by 70%. If you are a nursing mom that's been part of our care for any period of time and you've dealt with mastitis, one of the things we'll tell you as a why not, it's free and easy to try, is we'll say, go home, buy some garlic, peel it, open it, take a clove, one of the, cloves, not the bulb, a clove. Dr. Tim, he can share that story with you guys at another time. Take a clove, cut it into whatever size you need to be able to swallow, and swallow down some raw garlic. It's a natural antibacterial, antimicrobial, great simple thing to be doing right now. That could just be one empowering thing that you could do with your family, is add some garlic and more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. As I just said, the Max Living Advanced Plan is the plan that everyone needs to be on right now. If you are particularly concerned about encountering viruses or bacteria, you're worried about it, here's the time that the advanced plan is right for you. It reduces inflammation. It helps balance out your hormones. It creates a good, healthy cell membranes because of it's high in good, healthy fats, helps your detox pathways. It's just a really great thing for you to be doing right now. For those of you that don't have the Align Your Health book or need your refresher, you cut out all sources of sugar and things that turn to sugar, any grains, any sauces or condiments that have sugar in them. You load up on good, healthy, saturated, whole food fats, nuts, seeds, avocados, fish. You shift your proteins to all grass-fed, organically raised proteins. It's because now you're not getting all of the virus, all of the bacteria, and all of the antibiotics that are in conventionally raised meats. So it's a shift in your proteins, a focus on healthy fats, and then really reducing and eliminating anything that creates a spike to your blood sugar levels. If you're a healthcare worker right now, now's the time. You've got to be the strongest host you can, because you're going to be exposed. I really think we all will. So this is really a time that nutrition needs to be absolutely cleaned up. If you have specific nutrition questions, please, Dr. Tim, just let me know. It's page 167 of the Align Your Health book. We can post some links at the end of this for those of you that aren't local that need a copy of the Align Your Health book, and we'll get it to you. If you're like, hey, I need some tips. I need more nutrition resources sent to me. We have perspectives already put together in newsletters that we can just shoot over to you. Just please comment there. Let us know. Again, and you can also set up one of the free virtual health consultations with one of our docs to do a phone call or a Zoom call with you. Again, we're doing those free in light of the fact that people need to be great hosts right now. Excuse me. I felt like my 2-year-old, going like this. Okay, key supplementation to consider. There's about 11,000 supplements that all to some degree will probably be beneficial for you. My philosophy has been and always will be, get what you can through your nutrition, through exercise, through sunlight, and supplement with what you can't. These are key supplements that I think are really important right now. There's lots of research and lots of different philosophies on how much of it should I take if I already am sick versus how much should I take on a daily basis. Again, this is one of those things that through a virtual health consultation, which they can post the link to, our doctors will be able to help you with, depending on how much you weigh. Are you immune compromised? How old are you? Just simple things. What environment are you in? Have you already been sick? But vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin A, and zinc. Zinc is a little fringy. I put it on there really because people think it's important right now in particular. It's really a little bit, it's a mineral and you can get it through lots of other sources. Some food sources, vitamin D, mushrooms, get vitamin D through sunlight. It's very challenging. You need to be spending at least 45 minutes to an hour every day with at least for our latitude, in South Carolina, with at least 40% of your skin exposed to be getting adequate amounts of vitamin D. This is a simple finger prick test to see what your blood serum vitamin D levels are. It needs to be between 60 and 90 for health benefits and immune benefits right now. We can help you with that. Many of you already know what your vitamin D levels are because your medical doctor has tested it. We can help you dose your supplementation appropriately based on it. Vitamin C, up to 2,000 milligrams right now from a great clean source of vitamin C. There's a lot of cheap vitamin C out there right now. You overdo it or take the wrong one, you're going to end up with diarrhea. Been there, done that. Vitamin A is important. Food sources of vitamin A, beef liver. And if you have breastfed kids and done the Weston Price baby-led weaning, you'll know that I've told many of moms to go buy beef liver and shave it onto eggs to get some vitamin D or to get some vitamin A through the beef liver into their children. Other food sources, because it gives you more than 100% of your vitamin D in your vitamin A in a very small dose. Other food sources, raw cheeses and butters, salmons, cod liver oil. There's vegetable and fruit sources, sweet potatoes, carrots, red peppers, spinach, but it's because of the carotenoids in it. And I wrote this down earlier, and I don't know if I have my notes. Cytocarotenoids. They help protect the cell membrane from viruses and bacteria, and those carotenoids come from the vitamin A. So vitamin A actually decreases as you age, especially if you have thyroid problems. So vitamin A is a big one to make sure that you're getting adequate amounts through your nutrition. It's also a simple blood test. And zinc, we already talked about. Zinc is important though because it stops the viral replication. Or it's supposedly can interfere with virus replication. So once the virus is already there, you can slow down, mitigate some of the disease process by high dose supplementation with zinc. Again, why not? Usually you can't kill yourself if you try these things. Max Living offers a bunch of them. We'll post links to them for you, or through your health consultation, our doctors can let you know kind of where you're at, what some of the sales are on each of those right now. Germ plus host equals outcome. Never, I'm just going to keep, my job is to teach you how to be a stronger host. Again, if you already have health issues and you know you have neglected your health, you're diagnosed with a disease right now, a chronic disease, you're overweight, you're on medications, you don't have the energy and vibrancy that you know you should. This is the time where the whole world has stopped to focus on health. Take advantage of focusing on health. Another way that you need to be doing that is through working out. You have to get outside and work out. You have no excuses right now. And listen, I'm not a big running fan. I got up and ran my 5 miles this morning. I needed some outside time. I needed some fresh air. I needed physical activity, oxygen, and exercise. It creates flow of your lymph. So you're now circulating white blood cells through your body. So you have a better chance of, oh my gosh, my immune system identified that there's a virus or a bacteria or whatever, and I'm circulating my lymph so now I can properly deal with it. When you get outside and you're breathing, I guess you can breathe inside too. Outside would be the vitamin D component to it. When you're breathing, you're oxygenating your tissues, which helps kill off viruses and bacteria, pushes oxygen into your cells. So many benefits to oxygenating your cells through exercise right now. 30 minutes a day. You can follow the whole Rachel Hollis thing, move your body 30 minutes a day, no excuses. I think you need vigorous exercise every day right now to the point where you're sweating. That is my litmus test on, did I work out hard enough to benefit my immune system right now and strengthen it? Am I sweating? When you sweat, you're detoxing. When you sweat and you're detoxing, you know you're pushing lymph, you're circulating blood better. Stagnation is where disease breeds. Move your body. Circulation creates life. Think of a stagnant pond versus a flowing stream. When you work out vigorously, you get things flowing, and that creates life and health for you. Wherever you are right now, you can do this. It can be, and again, our doctors can send you links to Facebook Lives where we have done demonstration workouts. We can walk you through. I just had a knee replacement. How do I get myself moving right now? We can walk you through all of that. I don't sweat when I work out. Great. You need a dry brush first before you do it. There's so many tips and tricks to this, but oxygenating your cells through exercise right now is a absolute non-negotiable. And even like a plus to that is get outside and do it. It is beautiful in South Carolina right now. I feel just awful for my friends and colleagues that are in Canada and in Michigan, and they are stuck inside and it's miserable and dreary and gross. We have the free time right now. Let's get outside and enjoy and get the additional benefits of vitamin D while we work out and get the benefits of oxygenation and exercise. It's a double whammy. There's no reason not to be outside. And I listened to Governor McMaster's briefing today where he said you basically have to be at home, going to a healthcare appointment or to an essential business. Otherwise, you're inside. But then he did qualify, or if you're outside working out. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, apparently he doesn't want us on the lake boating anymore. But we'll deal with that. We can jump off the boat and swim and call it exercise. But really, really important that you're outside. This has been like a huge blessing of this season that we're in, is I have seen more people walking the dam, more people out. I was at Best Buy, Home Depot. And I wasn't at Home Depot. My husband ran into Home Depot, and I drove 6 laps around Home Depot from Piney Grove around to Costco, the back and the Fernandina. Did that 6 times while he was in there looking for a hose. And while we were doing it, we drove by the Harbison Lakes 6 times with my 3 kids in the car screaming and crying. And that was the only reason I didn't take them into Home Depot, is because that would have been a nightmare. Not because we were scared, because that would have been a nightmare. And the lakes, the Harbison Lakes, were filled with people outside enjoying the weather, moving their bodies. So please, please, please take advantage of doing that right now. Okay, last concept I want to get into is this idea of how stress impacts our immune system. Oh, someone just said the dam is closed right now. Darn, I about said damn with an M, not an MN. The dam is closed right now. Shoot. Okay, well, there's other places to walk. We have neighborhoods. We can get outside. Stress and the immune system. Stress shuts down your immune system. It increases inflammation. Think of, and here's like proof of this. Think of someone that you know that deals with cold sores, and ask them when their cold sore flares up. It's typically when they have just come through a super stressful environment. They've been overworked, whatever the case. Their immune system drops, and proof of that is then the cold sore shows up. We know that stress negatively impacts our immune system, and we have to fight to avoid stress. Now, what I want to show you is that stress comes through more than just the words and the environment and MSNBC right now. Stress can come through physical stress, through chemical stress, and emotional stress. Physical stress I want to talk about because currently a lot of people have been told that they need to stay home and work. And we are sitting behind computer screens way more hours a day than we're supposed to. I think even prior to this whole pandemic and stay-at-home quarantine, we were behind computer screens too much, but at least we had to like get up and get in our car and go to work and walk up maybe a flight of stairs when we got there. But sitting really is the new smoking. I have a source for every one of my slides except for this one, because right before I'm like, I got to put this slide in. I straight up stole this off the internet. So thank you, whomever posted this. But sitting really is the new smoking. You can go and Google it and look it up, the negative health impacts of sitting. And a lot of you right now and the people that you love are sitting hunched behind computer screens like this right now. And you're creating a ton of stress physical stress on your central nervous system, which your central nervous system and your immune system are so closely interconnected, it's negatively impacting your nervous system. The reason why is you can look up a Merrick chart or look up an autonomic nervous system chart. What's funny too, there's so many funny things about these slides that only I know, but I'm just going to share them with you because that's fun. I couldn't find a picture of our autonomic nervous system. This is Max Levine produces this. It's a beautiful diagram that shows proper normal spinal alignment, where those nerve roots go, what organs they innervate, and then also shows on those dark circles the decaying process, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of the degenerative process of abnormal spinal positions. It's super cool. And I couldn't find it anywhere online or in any of our resources. So I literally went into our consultation room and took a picture of it with my phone. And you can see, like, if you zoom in there, which you probably can't, you can see me in there taking the picture. So that's funny. But here's the reason why sitting and physical stress makes us ill, makes us unwell. When you sit in a hunched over forward position, it shifts your spine out of the proper biomechanics that it needs for the nerve root openings to be healthy, and while also creates joint inflammation along the nerve roots. And the interesting thing that is just fact and science is that the job of your spine is to surround and protect your nervous system. So your brain is controlling and coordinating every function of your body. And the only way your brain can coordinate and communicate with the rest of your body is by sending physical, hardwired signals from the brain down the spinal cord and over the nerves. The job of your spine is to surround and protect it. That's why it's individual bones, and they should be nice, big, healthy discs in between so you can bend and sit and move and shift. And that opening for that nerve root is still nice and wide and preserved, so the function to the organ and the tissues and the cells of your body is optimal. We all know if we take a nerve that goes to your heart and chop it in half, you die. Everyone knows that. Now, I would contend if we spend 8 hours a day with our shoulders rounded forward, our head pushed forward, and we're jamming the nerve roots at the base of our neck, which innervate the heart, as you can see on that chart, I would contend we're creating an inopportune environment for our heart to express its fullest health potential. We run into issues, let alone when we're stuck in a forward hunched position and our posture. If you want to know how healthy your nervous system is right now, go look at yourself in the mirror. When you look at yourself straight on, your head should sit level. Your shoulders have to sit level. Hips have to sit level. When you look at yourself from the side, ears should sit back over your shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. Look at people as they age, and we're seeing this in kids younger and younger, especially now thanks to iPhones and TechSnack. We end up in this position. Go visit, when the nursing homes open back up, go visit a nursing home and look at the posture of the people that are in it. It is very rare to see someone with upright, full mobility posture in a nursing home, because when you have proper spinal health, you have a more opportune environment for your body, your organs and tissues and cells to express health, which is why this is the system we look at. If there is stress on this system, and it's so interconnected to your immune system, it's not even funny. If there's so much stress on it, then we are not a good, strong host, which is why I personally right now I'm getting adjusted more often. I'm doing my home care exercises more often to create a healthy nervous system. This is the official statement, because everything around, the virus right now has everyone on lockdown. This is the official statement on how we want to talk about how the nervous system impacts immune function. The nervous system and immune system are interconnected. There's a whole field of science called neuroimmunology. It's right there. Chiropractic care and adjustments work to remove inflammation and interference on the nervous system, allowing better communication and activation of the immune system. You can't read that sentence and not know the importance of honoring the integrity of your spinal hygiene. Those of you that are patients, it is time to take out the wobble disc and the traction unit and the head weights and the foam rollers and blow them off and put them to work. Get going with them. Shoot, if you need a new set, you get into the office and we'll give them to you discounted. Just get your spine moving. Those of you that are, maybe you've never been under chiropractic care, if you've got a chiropractor, get your butt in there. So many chiropractors around this town are friends of mine. I love them. I adore them. We all do things a little bit different, but shoot, get in there and see someone right now. Get some extra adjustments to boost up your immune system, in my opinion. And there's research, and you can find flaws in every research article, but this one particular research article showed that chiropractic patients, people that were under maintenance chiropractic care for 5 or more years, have been found to have a 200% greater immune competence than those who did not receive chiropractic care. And just this last Friday, when I was at one of our offices, I walked in and I see Sarah and I high five her and I say, hey, Sarah, like literally just looked up. You just had your 5-year anniversary here last month. And she was like, yeah, 5 years here and 2 years at an ML office in Charlotte before this at Holly Clemens' office, like 7 years under chiropractic care. Here, she fits that study. Walked through, saw JP and his wife, Tara. Hey, 5-year anniversary for JP, it's even longer than 5 years, like high five. You've been under regular chiropractic care for years. You are creating an environment of health and wellness for your body. There are so many warning signs that can give you indications of your body and your nervous system being unwell. Everything from headaches to chronic sinus issues to mood. There's a whole study of behind the connection between brain health, spinal health, and mood and behavioral disturbances. Sciatica, numbness and tingling, neck pain, disc issues, constipation, fatigue, reflux, digestive issues. There are multiple warning signs of your nervous system not functioning optimally. Even if you just look at this at the most basic level of if you have been dealing with headaches, back pain, numbness or tingling, sciatica, those are very just straightforward warning signs that your nervous system is not healthy. If your nervous system is not healthy, you are a weak host. And it's time to actually get it evaluated. For those people, again, the virtual health consultations, that might be the entry point for many of you listening to this. For those of you that are like, I need a chiropractor. I need my nervous system evaluated. I need my spine checked. I need to know what's going on with it. We are, for the foreseeable future, at least the next couple weeks, doing a 50% discount on all of our initial exam, including x-rays for any new patients that need to have this evaluated or an old patient that you haven't been around in a while. So any exams, any x-rays, the consultation with the doctor, everything that we need to do to get a proper and thorough look at the health of your spine and nervous system, we're doing at a full 50% discount. Same thing, post here, comment here, take a screenshot of this and send it to your mother who you know has health issues and needs to have her nervous system evaluated. You can share it with other people, but take advantage of doing this. You can use it at any of our 3 offices because now is the time to create a strong host. And in all of our clinics, we have a full compliance manual in place and training with all of our teams that we have done for sanitation, for how to respect social distancing, for how to make sure that we don't have more people than are allowed in any of our health centers at any time. We're cleaning every door handle, every computer screen. We've gone through like this thing, these places top to bottom. These are safe environments for you to come into. And this is the time where I know so many people, the number 2 reason people end up in the emergency room is for back pain, at least according to one study that I read a couple weeks ago. If we can deal with back pain appropriately through a chiropractic avenue, if it's safe to do that for you and for your family, and we can remove some of that burden from our healthcare system right now, what a blessing, what a double whammy. And then on top of that, you get to look yourself in the eyes and say, I have finally started addressing the cause of my health issues. I get that getting an injection or taking ibuprofen or doing medication or rubbing some cream on certain areas for a period of time makes the symptom go away, but it does not address, identify, or correct the cause of your health problems. The nervous system is the starting point for health, in my opinion, for every person. And if you're not honoring it, taking care of it, being diligent with it, and if you at a minimum don't know a baseline for where your nervous system is right now, this opportunity is for you. And it's like the most it would cost you $80 for all of your exams and your x-rays. It's a no-brainer. Again, for those of you that are listening, you're like, I don't know if I qualify for that or if I need it. Maybe I should save that appointment for other people right now, which that's cool too. At least sign up for one of these virtual health consultations to get on the phone with myself or one of these doctors where we can, Dr. Rachel, Dr. Parks, Dr. Courtney, Dr. Tim, Dr. Pavlik, half of them I'm saying their first name, half of them I'm saying their last name, Dr. Matt, Dr. Steins. We have a huge team of doctors and we have all committed to doing it for free for you. So we can help figure out, hey, what's a next step within your health to get you a little bit closer to being a better, stronger, healthier host. So for those of you that need it, I'll leave their pictures up there because that's prettier than just looking at this last screen. Please, please, please take advantage. I will be going back through this. It's really challenging to answer questions while speaking. And I'm about to lose my voice. So I will be going back through this and looking for any questions that any of our other doctors haven't already answered. If you found value in this, share it with your friends. We're going to be posting tons of content to our YouTube channels. We'll be all over social media. If you have a topic that you want addressed, addressed, post it here or send me a private message through Facebook or Instagram, or my cell phone number, 803-403-4343. If you caught that, you can go ahead and shoot me a text message too. Thank you all so much. I believe we will come out of this stronger. I believe we can come out of this empowered, because truly the world has shut down to prioritize health. So why don't we take that initiative to prioritize our own health and make the changes that we know we need right now? So love you all, and I hope to connect with you soon.